Okay, so this whole lesson is on changing the parameters of linear functions. So we're going to look at the effects of changing m, your slope, and the effects of changing b, your y-intercept. So look at this first slide. I've graphed 3 different lines. This red one has a slope of 2. The green one has a slope of 1. And the purple one has a slope of 1/2. So look what happens. 1/2 to 1 to 2. The bigger the number, the steeper your line gets. So you need to write this down. The bigger m is, the bigger your slope, the steeper the line. The closer to 0 m is, the flatter the line. So pause it, write that down. So let's put these in order from the steepest to the least steep. So all we care about is our slope right now. We got a slope of 2. We have a slope of 1/2. We have a slope of 4. So steepest is going to be the biggest slope. So this is my steepest. 4 is my biggest slope. So we'll do it over here. So 3 is my steepest. And then out of 2 and 1, which one's going to be steeper? Hopefully you saw that 2 is bigger than 1/2. So then 1 and the flattest line, the least steep, will be number 2. Okay, so let's look at what happens if we made them negative. So again, this slope's -2, this slope's -1, this is -1/2. So it didn't affect how steep they are. What it affected is the direction that it goes. So making m negative reflects the line across the y-axis. Write that down. Okay, and then don't write this part down. You can just listen. When you're determining steepness, don't worry about the negatives and positives. Just look at the number, and the bigger the number, the steeper it is. So we don't care if it's negative or positive. Just look at the number, and if it's bigger, then it's steeper. So let's look at these. This slope is -1/3. But again, when we're doing steep and least steep, we don't really care about the negative. So all I really care about is that it's 1/3. This slope is 1. And this slope is -4. But again, when we're doing steepness, all we care about is the number. So I got 1/3, 1, and 4. So the biggest number is 4. This is going to be my steepest. And then between 1 and 1/3, 1 is going to be the bigger number. So 2 is the second steepest. And the least steep is that -1/3. Okay, now let's look at what happens when we change b. So you can notice my slope's the same. This slope is 1 and this slope is 1. What's changing is my b is -3 here and +3 here. So it crossed at -3 here and at +3 here. So changing b shifts the line up or down on the y-axis. If b increases, the graph will translate up or shift up. If b decreases, the graph will translate down. So write that down, pause it. Okay, so let's look at this. Your original equation is y equals 2x plus 4. And we want to shift the graph up 2. So shifting, here's what you need to remember. Shifting changes the last number. So my first part is going to stay y equals 2x. But if I'm at 4, right, I'm on my y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to go up 2, what would be my new number? So if I'm at 4 and I go up 2, my new number is going to be at a +6. Okay, let's do another one. Same original equation, but this time we want to shift down 2. So again, the first part, shifting changes the last part. So this is going to stay 2x. And instead of 4, I want to shift down 2. So where would I be now? I would be at +2. Okay, let's list all the transformations in changing A to B. And there's going to be a lot, okay? So I'm going to put that B is, the first thing I look at is that in A, my slope is negative. In B, my slope is positive. So I'm going to put that B is reflected over the y-axis. That's making it negative or positive, changing the sign, reflects it over the y-axis. I'm also going to put that B is either steeper or less steep. So let's look. In A, my slope is 2. and B, my slope is 1/4. Well, so is B going to be steeper or is B going to be less steep? 1/4 compared to 2 is smaller, which means B is less steep. And last, we're going to put if it's shifted up or down. So I'm going to put B is shifted. So I started at 4 and I'm going to -5. Let me draw this for you so maybe it'll help. So I started at 4 right here. I'm going down to -5. So if I'm at 4 and I'm going down to -5, that means I'm going to shift down. So I'm going to put it shifted down. And then you have to put how many it's shifted. So if I'm at 4 and I go down to -5, we're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So B is shifted down 9. So 3 things that you need to do. You need to figure out, is it reflected? Did your slope change from a positive to a negative? Which one is going to be steeper or less steep? And how much it's shifting up or down. Those are the 3 things that you need to do. And there's a question on your worksheet like that, and it's the same thing. You want to list those 3 things. Which one is reflected? Which one's steeper? Which one's shifted up or down? So y equals -2x plus 2 is reflected over the y-axis. What would the new equation be? So reflecting changes the sign of the slope. Everything's going to stay the same, but instead of a +2, reflecting over the y-axis would change it to a -2. So that would be my new equation. And that's it. So if you'll go try worksheet 6.3, let me know if you need help.